Hey guys, Stu Hill here with Chem Digital. Came across this interesting article. It kind of pertains to like our recruiting services. So thought I'd dive into kind of the discussion. Sorry about the squeaky chair. I'd dive into the discussion on this. So real estate agents attacking ludicrous junk fees onto every home purchase. This was something I found on Google News this morning from Insider. There's some blame being placed here by media people that are commenting on this, stating that the junk fees or fees that are being charged by the real estate brokerages are making homes less affordable in the current market and making it more difficult to buy because of the expense in the closing costs, and also kind of basically inflating the cost of buying a house overall. So they're saying that it's increasing the market value, or keeping market values higher than necessary, but. I'm not sure I 100% agree with that, but certainly there are a lot of junk fees. But really, that this comes down to the structure of commissions with the brokers. So we've gone to this 100% model where back not that long ago 70-30 splits, 60-40 splits, 50-50 splits, or even less were kind of the norm. Now the brokerages are they're more like technology service providers, since there's nobody in the offices, there's no they're all providing websites for the agents and everything else that they can throw in. So the brokerages have become like this technology service provider, and in a lot of cases now lead gen providers, because that's what agents are buying into as far as the recruiting goes. Everybody's looking for leads right now, given the market conditions and the slowdown, and also in fear of spending money on leads in case it doesn't pan out. So agents have started to resort to going to brokerages that are offering leads, which is great. That gives us a profit center over there. However, when we are looking at putting together a recruitment campaign for a broker, having these junk fees and other miscellaneous line items that are difficult to keep track of at best, but then are getting offloaded onto the client side of things. It's not always a good look, and any savvy buyer or seller will likely tell the agent to they're paying that's on them, they're not paying it, and that's just a cost of doing business. But the less savvy, they don't necessarily know that they can stick all of these fees and such on onto the agents. I'm not paying you a fee. This is you're getting a commission off of the sale of this property. You get paid on commission. So I think the moral of the story here is you should keep the commission high enough to where you're making enough money to to cover your time and expenses and make a decent profit out of your real estate business. But also on the broker side of things, rather than nickeling and diming that the agents and having all of these fees that you can, fees that agents pay, fees that the broker wants the client to pay. Again, all business is the broker's business. The fee that is being earned, so the commission, that is the broker's commission, who then in turn shares that with the agent. So I think the moral of the story is to charge enough money in terms of commission and do a split with your agent that is fair and reasonable, and kind of keep those fees on your side. So and bundle them together. So if it is if you're getting 500 a transaction, let's say for an agent on a 100% plan, don't stick another $500 on the client, or $250 fee, or 500 plus a $130 E&O fee. We know we pay E&O insurances for the year in advance, so that doesn't reset until the following year. And a start off policy for somebody less than 100 transactions a year, you're looking at $1,500 in E&O, thereabouts. And, that may vary from state to state, depending on how litigious the particular state is. But overall, I think the brokers, you're just a lot better being able to say to your clients that, there's no fees, there's no junk fees, that HUD statement, there's enough fees that are tacked on by title and escrow companies and attorneys, in non-trustee states, that certainly adding more real estate fees into that mix, it's a bit depressing as a seller to see a HUD statement and you kind of think you're getting this much. You had an offer on your house for $1 million. You've got 60 grand, 50 grand in commissions coming out of that, and then you've got all of these other expenses that are going on to in the line item. So often when you see a HUD, you're like, oh, that's quite depressing. I was in my mind expecting quite a bit more, and that should be really taken into account by brokers. And for both the benefits of recruiting, keep the fee structure simple to your agents, and really try and I think having a simple 90-10 split these days makes a lot more sense than anything else. And if you need a bit more money to cover some of the services and whatnot that you're providing to the agents, put them on an 80-20. Just call it what it is, rather than 90-10 with $250 a month paid and all of these other fees. Consider all business is the broker's business, and hire salespeople that are selling rather than churning these agents that are just there for a profit center. And even these sort of regulatory compliance fees. I've owned a number of real estate brokerages that we got into that doing, but that's how I got into recruiting, because now we just represent 400 brokers all across the country instead of me hiring a broker for sale, hiring a broker for hire in every state so that we could operate transactions and build out teams. So we had an E&O fee. We had we call this a document archival fee. They are junk fees, but back in the 100% days, and I think that has come, it is coming to an end. Agents want more than that right now. But in those days, that was normal. You did have the bullshit fees, as they're calling them right here. But so again, I think kind of going back in today's market to having really working on a commission, working for your clients, and you can say zero fees, right? It is what it is. Simple commission structure. One, make note of other brokerages and what the client can expect in the way of a listing agreement or a purchase agreement that just gets sort of tacked in there, that don't worry about it, you're not going to have to deal with it. If it's paid out of pocket, then that's still cash out of pocket at the closing table. If it's tacked on the loan, okay, it's $1,000 in fees, but if you amortize that over the course of 30 years, that's really expensive for a client. Given how much interest you're going to pay at 6% over the next 30 years on that 1,000. So it does add up, and I think going in with a more transparent philosophy is better, and try and get away with just adding like they've called it here in this article, gravy to the deal. Anyway, just my thoughts on something I found interesting here as it pertains to recruiting, and then obviously trickles down through marketing and the positioning of your company and all the rest of it. I think being transparent on these fees, and no junk fees, no hidden fees, no this, that, or the other. That's kind of how we operate our services, and I think that's what clients and savvy buyers certainly are looking for these days, and it'll make it a lot easier for you to recruit real estate agents if if they can easily calculate what their commission is off the top, right? So, they know that there's 50 grand coming in because they double-ended $1 million house at a 5% commission, right? And that's, the 5 grand's going to the broker, rest of it's going to the agent, end of story. If you have, the difference between fees off the top and fees, that are paid by the agent or fees that are paid by the client, it really just complicates that. And, again, as I mentioned, it's depressing for the client. That can be depressing for the agent as well, and that is one of the not getting what they expected in the way of a commission is certainly one of the biggest reasons why agents leave brokerages. Once again, I'm Stu Hill from Chem Digital. If you've liked this video, please hit the like button. If you want more insight and tips and tricks related to real estate marketing, please do subscribe to our channel. We'd really appreciate that and love to have you aboard, part of our community. You can also subscribe to our blog. We have 110,000 real estate agents and brokers nationwide that subscribe to our real estate marketing blog. Do that on our website, chem.digital. Again, Stu Hill here. Thanks for watching.